What's up, guys? Vincent with Fit to Succeed. Fit fun. Fit is fun, intense training, right? To succeed. Anyway, the goal is for every Sunday to at least have some kind of tutorial for an exercise that I think is important. Mainly, I'm going to go over the basics, kind of like I did with the bench press. But today we're going to be talking about the barbell overhead press. I'm going to break it down Barney style. Basically, I'm going to dumb it down as much as I can. Not because I don't think you guys are smart enough, but I've learned throughout my clients that we don't really, as clients, you guys don't really care for all the science terminology. You just want to know how to do the exercise safely and the quickest way to lose weight or gain muscle, and so far, so forth. So that's how I explain things. If you want the science stuff, I'm sure you can research it on your own. And I'm a firm believer of if we research it on our own, we understand it better because we get to break things down a little better for our brains to understand it. So with that being said, let's go over this barbell overhead press, also known as the military press. Sometimes you'll see BBOHP, okay? If you can't see it, I'm sorry, there might be a glare. I do have another bigger whiteboard, but I haven't hung it up yet, so I might do that today. Anyways, we're gonna go over 5 steps on well, 6 steps technically, but I try to break it down into steps, and then I'm gonna go into deeper explanation. So first off, hand placement. I'll reiterate it again, but to give you guys an in-depth talk, I guess, the hand placement, it varies person to person. If you're using a straight bar, which is what I'm going to be doing, excuse me, with the straight bar, I tend to
3 hours later.
And we're back. Cool. Jesus Christ. We're back. So, step 1, hand placement. Hand placement will vary. And a lot of it's going to depend on what's comfortable for your shoulders or shoulder injuries. Personally, myself, I tend to be really close, as close as my body allows me to. Some people will be really far. It can be good or bad. Like I said, it's gonna vary. You kind of just have to play with it. I'm gonna give you a basic one that I teach my clients. You can try that if you feel like you need to go wider because you're a bit wider or you're a bit taller or bigger, or your arms. It's gonna depend, okay? I'm not saying you guys are overweight or anything. Some people are like 6 foot, 300 pounds of muscle. They gotta go wider, right? So with that being said, we'll go over the hand placement for step 1. Step 2 is going to be your body placement. Body placement, I will stand sideways. It's upright. You can't be like this where your shoulders are kind of rolled. You got to be back and down. So you need to be in this position here. So for you ladies, imagine you're in a club and you know you're trying to flaunt what you got. You got to stick that chest out, right? Shoulders back. That's your posture. Same thing with guys. You're at the beach. You want to show off your muscles. Boom, posture, right? Hot girl passes by, or hot guy, you know, passes by and you're like, oh, I want to show my muscles off. Boom, stick it out, right? Exact same thing. That's how you got to stand. As well as your feet got to be about shoulder width, okay? That's going to vary as well. But I would prefer shoulder width just because it's more of a neutral stance. And then we're going to go into wrist placement. So a lot of times people have the bar, I hope you can see that. They have the bar here. And if the weight is here on their palm or right here on their palm, all that pressure is coming straight down here. You have no support here, okay? So there's no support, which means all the weight is pressed down here, which means you're gonna feel it in your wrist. And if you feel a lot of strain and pressure in your wrist, you're doing it wrong. You have to roll the bar down to about right there, right? Grip it about right here. You wanna go across the bottom of the palm here. And the weight should go straight down here. So you want to be like this rather than like this. That's going to make a big difference on your wrist. It might feel a little harder, but that's because your body's not used to the proper position. If I have the bar here, the weight goes straight down and straight down my forearm, right? You also don't want your elbows forward. You want your elbows back because you're going to be in this posture. But like I said, if you're here, all the weight is down here. But if you're here, now you're supporting all the weight that you're carrying in your forearm into your elbow, and everything else up here is going to help you out, shoulders, all that fun stuff. So make sure the bar is as straight as possible. Naturally you'll have a bit of a bend, but as long as the pressure is here, you're fine. Great. Next, we're gonna go into core tightness. So core tightness, basically, you kind of gotta hold your breath. So a lot of people don't hold their breath or they don't know how to properly breathe. But if you brace your core, basically hold your breath in your stomach. A lot of times people hold their breath up here. When their chest rises, your core is embraced. So when you breathe in and hold your breath, you want to be pushing out with your stomach. So your stomach should rise and you should feel pressure here. Right now my core is braced, my stomach is popping out, and that's normal when you're lifting. That's how you save your lower back, okay? After your core tightness, you have to squeeze your ass. And squeezing your ass means your core is tight and your hips are tight, which helps you push the weight up. It sounds a little weird or it might feel a little embarrassing, but I guarantee you, try to lift without squeezing your ass and then try to lift by squeezing, and you're gonna feel a big difference. You're gonna feel a lot stronger. I didn't know about this until about maybe a year ago, where I was being more self-aware with my lifts and wanting to lift heavier. I was naturally squeezing my ass. I just didn't really feel it until I paid attention, and where I can kind of focus on squeeze them cheeks, right? And then help lift up. It's hard to explain, but I guarantee you if you do it, focus on it, you feel it, you're gonna feel a lot stronger. And then finally, step 6 is pressing over, breathing out. So let's go into a quick demonstration, and hopefully these steps make sense for you as well as me showing you. So, all right, so I don't have anybody hold the camera for me, so I'm gonna do my best, try and speak loudly, and I'll be moving you around as well so you can see from different angles that would make more sense to you. So if you have a rack, something, you wanna kind of have the bar about chest height. See, it's about chest height. All right, so it's gonna allow you to get your hands up. If you have it too high, you're gonna have to put more, you're gonna have to use more energy to lift it a little higher to get it off whatever is holding the bar, okay? So you wanna have it about chest height. As you can see, you're gonna watch me easily remove this, boom. If I stand straight up, now it's off, I just gotta step back. So, chest high. Now, let's talk about hand placement. I put my index finger right at the knurling, and that's where I grab. Index finger right at the beginning. Here's your smooth part. Here's a knurling. Right on the line and grab. Same thing with the other one. That's how I do it. I've recently, and this is just because I have a little bit of shoulder pain, I've recently gotten a little wider. I put this part of my thumb, that first line, I line it up with the knurling, open, and grab, and then wrap my thumb. Always wrap your thumb. Never do that suicide grip. Always wrap the thumb. Same thing here. And that is my, well, that's my other hand placement. Body placement, hand placement, nice and straight. Step in, off. I'm here now. Remember, I'm not like this. No, I am here, straight up, just like this. Okay, after my wrists are straight as can be. Okay, my back is straight, everything's nice and tight. All I'm gonna do now is brace my core. You see my stomach, not braced, braced. Okay, now, you can't see me. You can't, but my ass is gonna be squeezing now. Okay, here, brace, press, breathe out. Now, look where I'm pressing. I'm pressing by my ear, okay? I'm not pushing out here, no, not back here, no. I'm right over my head. Come in. Here, down. If you're pushing like this, you're gonna hurt yourself. Here, no, yes. Step back, and you're done. Anyway, so the quick tutorial on the overhead press. Remember, when you're pushing up, you wanna push by your ears, okay? You might have to tuck that chin back and then push up, and then tuck it back and bring it back down. That's okay. Some people like to look up to get their chin out of the way because they will hit their chin coming up. If you are not comfortable with this, I suggest if you're in a gym, get a trainer. What also helps is using a mirror. Clearly I don't have. I record myself a lot. Record yourself, it's very, very helpful. I think that's it. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Hopefully I gave you guys a quick description. It's the same thing with the dumbbells. You're here. Dumbbells, you have a little bit of more free movement on how you can hold here, neutral grip, right? Just go with what works. Just remember, tighten the core in the stomach, push out so you feel tightness. It's gonna feel like you're wearing a back brace or a lifting belt, which is good because that's how you brace your spine and your lower back. Don't forget to squeeze them cheeks. At the same time, make sure to push up by the ear, because if you're pushing out, you're gonna put a lot of pressure on your lower back, and we do not want that. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, feel free. There's a description, or I mean a comment. If you want a cool shirt like that, sweaters, I have leggings. I think I put socks, but we delete those because the socks suck on Teespring. There's also some fun phone cases. Check it out, everything in the description, and we'll see you next time.